Now you should be on the back of your sheet, and you should try 1 through 6 on your own before continuing. So let's see how you did. Number 1, 51. So you should be looking at, it doesn't end in a 2, it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. So you're checking to see if it's divisible by 3. So you're going to do 5 plus 1. That'll equal 6. And on our sheet from earlier, if you look at divide by 3, 6 is one of the numbers that means you can divide by 3. So 51, if you divide by 3, it equals 17. So therefore the answer, it is divisible by 3. Well, 38, hopefully you noticed it ended in a 8. That means it is even, meaning you can divide by 2. And when you divide by 2, you would get 19. Didn't have to do this part, but just wanted to show you that you'll get a whole number when you divide by the factor. So number 3, hopefully you notice it ends in a 5. And therefore, it is divisible by 5. And if you divide 95 by 5, you'll get 19. And then on number 4, it ends in a 0. So what'd you get for this one? Well, technically, it's divisible by 10 and 5. And if we were going to simplify something, we'd want to check to see what the other number ends in to see which of those two numbers we'd want to do. 121, so first of all, ends in a 1. So not even, can't divide by 5 or 10. If you add the numbers together, 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 4 is not on the list of numbers to be divisible by 3. So it's not divisible by 3. So we checked, and it's not divisible by 3. Therefore, you got to use a multiplication chart. And if you don't know your multiplication facts, then you got to look for 121. And there it is. 121 is divisible by 11 because it is the same thing as 11 times 11. So you would divide by 11 on that one. And then 57 doesn't end in 2, 5, or 0. So we're going to do a check to see if it is divisible by 3. 5 plus 7 is 2. And if you check the list, yep, divide by 3. Therefore, it is divisible by 3. And if you divide by 3, just to see what you get, oops, 19. So divided by 3 is 19. Okay, please try number 7 next. So looking at both these numbers, so not even, don't end in an even number. One is divisible by 5, but the other is not. They have to both be divisible by the same thing. So you can't divide by 5. Don't both end in 0. So we got to check to see, I'll do it over here, are these divisible by 3? So I'm adding the numbers together. And if you look at our divide by 3 paper, both of those numbers, 6 and 3, are on there. So that means we can divide by 3. Now, if you know your multiplication facts, you don't necessarily have to check it because you could go, oh, I know that 15 is 3 times 5, so that's 5. And 21 is the same thing as 3 times 7, so that's 7. And that's simplest form. Please try number 8. So these both end in a 4, which are both even, so we can divide by 2. And you can use your calculator, or you can, if you know $24 split between 2 people is $12, 27. Now we can't stop because if you add these two numbers together, okay, the digits I should say, they are both divisible by 3 because 3 times 4 is 12 and 3 times 9 is 27. So therefore, you have to keep going on this one. So because we had to go twice, that means there was a bigger number than 2 we could have divided by. And that bigger number is 6. Because 24 divided by 6 is 4, and 54 divided by 6. So you could, that would have been faster. But this is if you weren't aware that these two numbers share a 6 in common. Okay, please try number 9. So you'll notice these ones end at a 0 or a 5, meaning we can divide by 5. You cannot divide by 10 because this one doesn't end in 0. They have to both end in 0 to divide by 10. So we have 8 over 11. And These don't have any numbers in common that you can divide by, so that is simplest form. So, because they're not even, they don't both end in 5, and they're not divisible by 3. Okay, number 10, please try it if you haven't already. So you'll notice they're not even, they don't end in an even number, not ending in 5, not ending in 0. So we should check to see if these are divisible by 3. If they're not divisible by 3, you have to use a multiplication chart. But you will notice that they both are 9, and 9 is a divisible number, or the number to check for dividing by 3. So therefore we can divide by 3. And if you use your calculator, you should get 21 over 27. Now on this one, once again, like number 8, these, if you add these numbers together, 2 plus 1, you get 3. 2 plus 7, you get 9. So those are both numbers and are divisible by 3. So that means we have to keep going on this one. You'll get 7 over 9. And that means because we had 2 steps, there was a bigger number that we could have divided by. So we have 63 over 81. If you use your multiplication chart and you find 63 and 81, they are both divisible by 9. So that's why we were able to divide, or we had to divide twice. So if we divide both of these by 9, 63 divided by 9 is 7. And 81 divided by 9 is 9. And that is how you simplify fractions.